Hey guys, Wet Movie 1 back here again, and it's time to go hard up. Are you guys ready? I know I sure am. It's not the biggest release week whatsoever. The Lego Movie Part 2 is coming out. I think it's What Men Want is the other one that's coming out today. And we're going to be going out to the usual spots. I may hit up one or two other, maybe random other places today for this vlog. So come along with me. And also stay tuned to the end of this video. There's going to be some, DVD and Blu-ray reviews. But if you guys haven't seen it yet, check out my last video. It's called Tracking Down Gabe, where me and Aaron find Gabriel and go on a little adventure with him. And also, my next video I'm going to be posting is a video called Meeting Jamie Kennedy. Or almost getting arrested with Jamie Kennedy. Because got into a weird situation. You guys know Jamie Kennedy from the Scream movies and of course Malibu's Most Wanted. I'm just hanging out with Jamie Kennedy out here. Hey. I was talking to him in the show, and he pulled me over on the street, and I almost got pulled over by a cop right now.
The cop let you go.
The cop was gonna take me in. Like I was like some drunk vagrant or something.
You're not a drunk vagrant.
Yeah, the next video that's gonna be uploaded is talking about that and actually meeting Jamie Kennedy, so stay tuned. I'll probably upload that Thursday or Friday, who knows. But guys, let's get on out right now and see what we can find today. Alright, let's get this video started, baby. Target man. Uh-oh. Are the cops out here again? Man. Oh. Alright guys, let's head on in the Target. Hopefully it's not on fire. Well guys, in Target right now, and it seems like everything's okay over here. I was just perusing the t-shirt aisle over here, and take a look at what I found right here. They have a Blockbuster, make it a Blockbuster night t-shirt at Target? How dope is that, dude? Now that is killer, but it kind of feels like it's one of those like thin kind of material shirts. I like the thicker ones, but yeah guys, I ended up trying on that Blockbuster shirt and it just doesn't feel right, you know what I mean? Like I said, I like the thicker material and everything like that, and I don't know, it just felt kind of itchy. Well guys, in the movie section right now, and yeah, What Men Want is one of the main ones that hit Blu-ray today. I actually thought this was really funny. I got to see this one in theaters, and I talked about it in the one of my past Hoarding Up videos already. I really did enjoy this one. The other one that came out today was The Prodigy, which I rented last week at Video Depot in Newhall, and I actually kind of liked this one too. It wasn't one of the better horror movies ever or anything, but of recent times, it was actually pretty enjoyable, man. It's from the producers of what's called Exorcism of Emily Rose. It's pretty much about like reincarnation, and this one little kid kind of gets taken over by a spirit and stuff. I dug this. I kind of dug this one. Do I need to own it on Blu-ray? I don't know yet. I just don't know. But that's all I really see. Oh wait, there's this one right here. The man who killed Hitler and then Bigfoot. I don't know. This doesn't even interest me whatsoever. I don't know. But the other one that came out is over here in the kids section, and that is, of course, the Lego Movie, the second one, or the second part, or whatever. And they have them, of course, on all the different formats and stuff, like 4K and things. But they have like this big box version of it, the Target exclusive with the lenticular, cover on it, which looks pretty damn cool. And it's just kind of like thick. I think it just may have like the regular Blu-ray inside. You know what I mean? Like. And like two little toys or something, but I don't know, it just feels real cheap, but it looks cool, and it looks big, but this feels kind of cheap. And also guys, it looks like Target's carrying like new universal slipcovers for some of their older classic films, like 16 Candles. It's the same regular Blu-ray inside the slipcover, but they just have like the new slipcovers for like Scarface, Jaws, Fletch, and all that stuff. I think it's kind of cool when studios try to do that every once in a while, but sometimes the covers are not as cool as the ones before it. But I would say Fletch and 16 Candles are kind of cool and out of the ordinary, but for $10 each, if you don't have them, that's kind of cool. But guys, I'm going to be heading on into this place, a place called Odds and Ends. I've been in here in the past. It has like, like old school toys and just like relics of the past all up in here. They have some really cool things, so let's go in and see if they have anything new since the last time I've been here. Well, inside Odds and Ends right now, and as you can tell, they just have like the most unique kind of stuff in here. Like, I forgot what it's called, like the pendulum sort of. the thing with the little balls going back and forth. That's not really a pendulum, but what do you call this thing? Like, I remember, like, you know, doctors' offices would have stuff like this, or at least in movies, you know, that I watched back in the day, things like that. Just like little weird odds and ends, like, I think masks, is that something from like the 300, like a helmet from 300, if I'm not mistaken? And like little Buddha statues and, you know, different kind of, you know, statues next to, you know, like a rack of DVDs. There's like, you know, DVDs and Blu-rays in here too, but you guys really got to pay attention to the prices here. I can't lie. The guy that runs this place is actually really a really cool, like, you know, hippie-ish kind of guy. I dig him. Really, very, very, you know, kind gentleman. But, you know, I'm gonna look through here, see if I find anything, you know, kind of interesting, but you never really know. And what is this? Is this like a different kind of like Ouija board, but like from like a different country or something? Like mystery talking board? Like, what is it? It looks just like a Ouija board. It's $40, but I'm not gonna open it. It's like, you know, these are in boxes and things, but have any of you guys seen one of these ones before? And do they work? You know, because if they do work, I'm definitely gonna need to buy this, you know, big shield over here that they have for sale too. That's like, you know, like really sturdy kind of, you know, shield. Like I said, you get all sorts of stuff in here. Like even another rack of DVDs that was on this, you know, this is the rack that we just saw, and they have another one over here. Just like, it's like I said, it's a real mixed bag of stuff. Like they have like Veggie Tales, you know, like right here, right next to, like, you know, decades of you know, history volumes next to, you know, Meet the Robinsons and you know, Whale Rider. It's just like I said, it's just like a mixed bag. It's like a thrift store, but like a little bit more expensive, you know, than the average, you know, thrift store when it comes to certain things. But you never know what kind of unique stuff you can find in here. Like I said, a shield. How dope is that? Everyone needs a shield in their life. Oh, wait a minute. Ooh, Easter eggs that you know, that haven't been found yet since, you know, this past Easter. Anything in here? Let me see. You can even buy some Rubik's cubes over here. He has like a little stash of them right here if you want to mess around with some Rubik's cubes. I've never been really good at these. Have you guys? Is there anybody out there that's like really good at them that can, like, you know, solve their Rubik's cube with your eyes closed or something like that? Let me know. Wow, guys, check out this right here. This is like a complete box full of Casper the movie, like, trading cards. Like, they had a box of this. It's what, $40? I didn't even know Casper the movie, you know, had their own trading cards. I guess anything back in the day sort of did. And it looks like they even have like a Toy Story, like a whole box full of, you know, trading cards for the original Toy Story movie. And of course, like a old school Peter Pan poster. Now this stuff is like super dope, but like, if I get this, I would never want to open it. Well, like I said, that's a really cool place, right? This has all these, you know, wacky, cool, you know, old, obscure kind of things in it. If you guys are ever in Burbank, I recommend you guys check it out. All right, everyone, over at our last stop of the day, the Beast, baby. Let's head on in and see what the Beast has to offer us today. All right, guys, that's the new release rack over here at Best Buy, and it looks like they do have an exclusive edition of the Lego Movie here, the Steelbook edition. This one actually looks kind of cool. So this was probably the better choice of the two between Target and you know, Best Buy this week when it comes to the exclusive edition of the Lego Movie. I'm not going to any Walmarts today, but this one actually looks kind of cool, and it also looks like Black Hawk Down came out for the first time on 4K this week, and Best Buy has their exclusive Steelbook version of it, which looks the same as, of course, the standard Amray edition, but for $5 more you get it in Steelbook form. Now I'm over here in the section itself to see, you know, what other stuff that, you know, they may put out that came out this week. Let's take a look over here. Of course, they have the, you know, the Lego Movie, the second part over here. They have the Amray edition of the 4K of Hellboy 2, and that was called What Men Want is the other one that came out. It doesn't look like this one's getting a 4K release or anything like that. And season 4 of Better Call Saul, that might have been last week, but I could be mistaken when it comes to this one. I bought season 1 of this a long time ago of this show, and never watched it yet, but I was a big fan of Breaking Bad at the time, and I bought it going, I'm definitely going to be jumping in and watching it, but I never did. It just sort of stays on the shelf, you know, unopened and everything. And it looks like the Forrest Gump was released today, the 25th anniversary edition on Blu-ray, which has like a new slipcover with a feather on it, which is kind of like embossed. You can like feel the feather on this and everything. And this one looks like the Best Buy exclusive steelbook, but it's only for like the Blu-ray. It doesn't look like the 4K edition of Forrest Gump is getting a steelbook treatment here. But that's okay. The movie's good because laughs like a box of chocolates, if you know what I'm saying. And of course, Backdraft is another one that came out today for the first time on you know, in the 4K format. And I believe they just recently made a Backdraft 2. That's probably like, I think, direct to DVD. That's going to be coming out in a few weeks. And I don't know if I'm interested in that, but this one right here, I remember liking when I was, you know, growing up and going to Universal Studios and stuff, and just like, you know, witnessing like the, you know, the ride or whatever it was back in the day, the ride or the experience they used to have back then. But this movie was kind of cool. I haven't seen it in years though. Well, guys, getting out of Best Buy right now. Sad to say, didn't really find anything I really needed to get up on or anything like that. I did get a copy of, you know, the Lego Movie to review for you guys, which I'll be talking to you guys about in just a moment in this video. But like I said, stay tuned for my next video. I should be uploading on Thursday or Friday, you know, meeting Jamie Kennedy and talking about how me and him almost got arrested together. You know, if you want to see how that, you know, kind of happened or almost happened, stay tuned for that coming up. But guys, let's head on home now for some DVD and Blu-ray reviews. Alright everyone, I'm back home now, about to do some DVD and Blu-ray reviews for you guys. Well, mostly Blu-rays and 4Ks and stuff. Got a small stack of things here to talk to you guys about today, so let's get started with it. The first two up I got from a Shout Factory, part of their Shout Select line. I keep saying Scream Factory because I'm so used to getting the Scream Factory ones. And this is part of their Shout Select line. This is numbers 79 and 80. And this one right here, the first one, I used to love this movie when it first came out back in the day. Like, I was just like fascinated by it. Only because it stars Patrick Swayze, who I've always liked since like Dirty Dancing and stuff, and Wesley Snipes, you know, from Blade and all these like, you know, badass kind of, you know, tough guy characters. And when I saw them starring in this film, I was just like, and that movie is To Wong Fu. Thank You for Everything, Julie Newmar. It's kind of a long title, but it's about 3 drag queens, you know, played by Wesley Snipes, you know, Patrick Swayze and John Leguizamo. And at the beginning of this film, they're at this, you know, drag competition, you know, drag contest, and you know, to win a trip to, you know, LA to, you know, to perform on a drag race that's even bigger than the one that they're in New York, I believe. And it's about their road trip to go to LA to, you know, to be part of this bigger drag race. And on their road trip, you know, their car breaks down and they stop off at this, you know, little town in the middle of like nowhere, like desert area, and you know, to see what they witness and how they, you know, change people's lives and perspectives in this little small town, because they've never seen people in drag before. Some of these people think that they're all real ladies, you know, in these dresses. But like, I don't know, I've always kind of enjoyed this movie because it's something that's completely, you know, especially back in the 90s when I saw this one, it was like completely, you know, like drag queens and guys dressing in dresses and stuff like that was kind of new to me at the time. Like, now it's everywhere, you know, people are transitioning into different things, you know, whatever, that you know, that's kind of normal now. But back then, to me, as a younger person, you know, watching this was kind of fascinating to me, especially to see, like, you know, like I said, Wesley Snipes acting like a lady throughout the whole movie in a dress and makeup and stuff. And this is the first time this movie has ever been released on you know, in HD on, you know, Blu-ray. And I gotta say, man, it does look really nice here on this Blu-ray. But you also get a behind-the-scenes making of the film with, you know, some of, you know, like you get John Leguizamo for the most part talking about the movie because, you know, Mr. Swayze is no longer with us, and like some of the writers and people behind the movie, you know, talking about the making of the film. You also get some deleted scenes and a theatrical trailer on here. But it was just cool that Shout, you know, added a little behind the scenes thing on here because they didn't have to. but I'm glad they did, because I've owned the DVD for years, and all it really was like I believe, just a trailer on it. But if you're a fan of this film, just want to let you guys all know that Shout Select has it now out on Blu-ray, man. Tu Wong Fu, man. I even have the soundtrack to that. But the next one up right here is from the Shout Select line too, and it stars Elizabeth Taylor and Richard Burton, who are a famous couple back in the day. And I've never seen this movie before, and it's called Boom. And it's from the writer of Streetcar Named Desire. What was that person's name again? I keep forgetting the writer's name. Was it like oh man, Tennessee Williams, based on a Tennessee Williams play, which I've seen before on stage, called Streetcar Named Desire. I don't know how they called it Boom when the original title is called Streetcar Named Desire, but it's pretty much about Elizabeth Taylor's character, who's this really extravagant rich lady that lives on this island, and she's used to be treated and pampered like a queen. And Richard Burton is a guy that's met her once before in the past and has had like a semi-past with her, and he kind of washes up on shore of this little place that she's living in, this little island that she's living on, and he tries to get in contact with her, and just the little interactions ensue. It's a really strange movie. It's one of those ones that it's kind of really bad, but like in a way that you want to like share it with other people, kind of movie, kind of like The Room, sort of, but not as crazy as The Room. But there are some really whacked out sequences in here. There's even an interview in here with like a film historian, like or author or whatever, and he's like talking about like the making of the movie and the the supposed stories that happened on the making of the set, and how like Richard Burton and Elizabeth Taylor were like drunk or high throughout the whole making of this movie. It was just really interesting to watch that special feature on here. We also get a theatrical trailer and a commentary by filmmaker John Waters, because this is one of John Waters' favorite movies of all time, and he always talks about this, in different things. And this is one of those movies that I believe may inspired like Pink Flamingos and some other, like the person that played Divine in his films and stuff. But it was actually a decent watch. It's not a great movie by any means, but it's like it teeters on that cringy side, if you know what I'm saying here. But this is also, like I said, put out by the Shout Select line. If you're interested and you like Richard Burton or Elizabeth Taylor, give this one a chance. It was weird though. And next up over here, I got for free to review from Warner Brothers, and that is the film that just came out today, and that is the Lego Movie, the second part, here on 4K. Of course, I was anticipating this film. I didn't get to see this one in theaters. I did watch the first film along, the original Lego Movie, and then of course Lego Batman and stuff like that. I kind of enjoy the Lego universe and like seeing like the characters of like Batman played in Lego form and things like that. But of course, this pretty much takes place after the first film. And because if you guys remember the last film, I don't want to ruin it, but if you remember the last film, it's kind of like, whoa, what? And it's just, pretty much Emmett is still trying to, act like everything is still awesome when it's really not, and all the other characters in Legoland or Lego World are trying to tell him this. And you have to watch the movie to find out how it all, how it all unfolds or whatever. But I found this one to be enjoyable. This one felt a little bit more kiddish than the first Lego Movie. I know they're all meant for kids anyway, for the most part, but this one just felt a little bit more geared towards children to me. But it does look absolutely spectacular here on 4K with the beautiful colors and the animation to this film. It just really stands out more, in this format here. But you do get some deleted scenes, some music videos, and of course there's a little making of featurette on here. But if you guys like the first Lego Movie, you guys will get a kick out of this one too. Thank you, Warner Brothers, for sending that on over. And next up over here from Lionsgate Home Entertainment is a movie that I really, really loved when I saw it back in the day on, when I used to work at Blockbuster. And even the sequel to it is amazing. And that is stars Jason Statham and Amy Smart, and that is Crank. This is one's being put out for the first time on 4K. Hopefully they put out the second one too, because the second one's dope. this one right here is about this guy named Chev Cherios, whatever, who's played by Jason Statham, who's like a hitman who at the beginning of this film wakes up and finds out that he's been, like, you know, drugged by these other, like, you know, mobsters or, you know, hitmen or drug dealers, whatever, some other bad people, and he only has an hour to live. And the only way he can stay alive longer is if he keeps his adrenaline going. You know what I mean? So, like, if he slows down at all, he's gonna, you know, he's gonna fade into existence. So, like, it's pretty much him trying to do anything he can to be, you know, to stay pumped, to stay jacked. You know what I mean? Like, you know, like sniffing cocaine or, you know, doing his girlfriend in public and, you know, like all sorts of stuff to get his heart pumping so he can stay alive long enough to kill the bad guy that did this to him in the first place. And this movie's just badass, and it was one of those movies I was never expecting a part 2, and when part 2 came out, I'm like, oh shit, I got to see this one. But if you guys have never seen Crank before, it's way crazy, way out there, but I still love it till this day, and it looks absolutely great. Here on 4K. It comes with all the original special features that came on the original DVD release of the film, or Blu-ray release and stuff. But if you had never seen it before, check out the trailer to this movie. It's amazing. I've always loved it, man. I loved it. It's crazy and over the top to me, but I get a kick out of it. But last but not least, from Universal Home Entertainment, this is the director's cut Blu-ray. I don't think it's getting a 4K release. I don't think it is. But that is the Fighting with Your Family. This is the one, of course, starring The Rock, and it's about the story of Paige. Like, I don't watch wrestling that hardcore anymore, so I didn't really know who Paige was when I saw this movie in theaters. But it's pretty much about this, you know, the story of Paige and how she, you know, got into the WWE and things like that, and how she was, like, you know, how she, you know, lived in England or whatever it was with her and her wrestling family. And, you know, her and her brother went to this competition to try out for WWE, but Paige got it and her brother didn't. And you know, it just shows the story of her and shows her brother and how he struggled, you know, with not getting into the business that he's always dreamed about getting into, along with her, you know, along with his sister. And it was actually better than I thought it was going to be. It's written and directed by Stephen Merchant, who, you know, who's in Extras and worked a lot with Ricky Gervais. Just a really funny guy. I believe he was in the original Office too, if I'm not mistaken, the UK one. And I just really enjoyed this movie. Like, it's one of those ones that I don't think a lot of people are gonna watch unless The Rock, you know, was involved in it and have him on the cover and things like that. I think having The Rock on there, you know, on the cover, like pretty much like the face of the movie when it was originally put out, is pretty much the main reason people are going to see this thing. You know, people that are not wrestling fans. And but I really did like it. You do get a gag, what's it called, some deleted scenes, audio commentary by Stephen Merchant, and a gag reel on here. If you guys like wrestling movies, this one was actually pretty decent. And, you know, me and my friend Andrew were part of this movie. Some, you know, when they were filming the final wrestling sequence where Paige is, like, you know, wrestling and everything for her first match. Me and my friend Andrew were in the audience. You don't see us or anything, but we were there during the making of the last final fight scene, wrestling scene, whatever. You know, in this movie, you never see us, but whatever. But I just want to let you guys know that Fighting with the Family is coming out real soon, so stay tuned for that. But guys, thank you so much for watching and supporting my videos. I really do appreciate every single one of you guys that clicks the thumbs up button, that drops a comment down below. I really do, you know, appreciate all the support and love. And I'll see you guys all for my next video.